Hey guys, Anthony here, live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. First time I am looking to do a market report from our new office, so welcome here to Atlantic City. We are on Atlantic Avenue, the corner of Boston, just within eye shot of Stockton's new campus. You can just kind of see out the window in the background here. But I just want to take a couple of minutes and update you on what's happening here in the market in the southern New Jersey Shore region. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see the report that's also linked in this post that you see. And if you're going to receive this video via email, I'll include the link in that email as well. So let me just go ahead and get started. Now you can see my screen. So here we are. This is our second quarter market report on the dwellsouthjersey.com website. And just to get started, as we scroll down, we can see that the second quarter of 2018 saw the price increase of 7%, median sales price year over year. This is for residential transactions of single family homes as well as condominiums. Does not include commercial properties, vacant land, or multifamily. We'll be releasing a multifamily report a little bit later this month. But for residential homes, one family, single family homes, condominiums, median sales price increased 7% year over year. So super excited. That's actually the fifth consecutive quarter that Atlantic County has seen an increase, and we're actually up over 10% from 2 years ago. As we look at a glance, as we explain here, right, the second quarter of 2018 was actually down 2% in terms of total transactions. And that was basically the effect of less inventory that we're seeing on the market. We're seeing less listings come onto the market. As a matter of fact, the total listings taken in the second quarter was up marginally, but down over 8% from where they were 2 years ago. So we're still seeing a challenged market as it applies to inventory coming onto the market. And the result is, again, supply demand. We're seeing a further increase in terms of buyer interest and buyer demand here regionally, and that's forcing prices upwards. The good news is when you look back 10 years ago, from where prices were 10 years ago and where interest rates were 10 years ago, we still remain, from an affordability standpoint, at a historic high, meaning more people can afford homes today than they ever have before. In fact, median home sale price is actually 28% lower than it was at the height of the market back in 2008, when interest rates at the same time were between 6.5% and 6.75%, which is wild to think about. It hasn't been that long ago when interest rates were in that range. If you compare the price, the cost, right, monthly cost of a home in 2008, when you combine the median sales price of 2008 together with where interest rates were in 2008, and you compare that to today's opportunity, right, median sales price 2018, interest rates of July 2018, the average cost of owning the same home on a monthly basis today is 44% less than what it would have cost you 10 years ago in terms of monthly mortgage payment. So the opportunity for to get into a home that's going to cost you a lot less than it did 10 years ago, the opportunity to get into a home that's going to cost you a lot less than it would to rent it today is extraordinary compared to the way it was 10 years ago. So great opportunities. As I scroll down in this report, we can see exactly what has happened with median home sale price over the course of the last year's a look back all the way to 2010. And we can see we're up dramatically, right? The market started to correct sharply in 2008-9 and declined all the way pretty much until we saw just 5 quarters ago, and we started to turn around. We can also see what happened with the number of sales. We're seeing, although we've had a downturn this past year, we can see the number of sales is up dramatically from where it was during the recession back in 2010 and even lower in 2009 and 2008. So we're in an enormous momentum. That demand is causing the increase in median home sale price because we have declining inventory. When we look at the bank-owned effect, right? So I've been separating bank-owned sales in my report now for the last couple of quarters. And so what's interesting this time around is, I mentioned it in the first quarter report, we're seeing a dramatic downturn in terms of the number of new foreclosure filings, right? When we looked at 2017, the number of new foreclosure filings were down over 30%. And what the effect is we're still seeing a lot of foreclosure activity that's a part of our overall sales process. In other words, 1 in 5 homes that were sold in the second quarter was a bank foreclosure. the effect that we're seeing happen because there's limited inventory in general, and there's obviously a lot of, with all the things that are happening in the second quarter here in Atlantic County, Hard Rock Casino opening, Ocean Resort Casino opening, Stockton's new campus, right? Enormous activity is forcing a lot of investor interest, institutional interest into our local market as well. Look at the dramatic increase in terms of median home sale price of the bank-owned properties here as you look back over the last 3 years for the second quarter. Big increases year over year in the bank-owned sales. And again, that's just simply the result of a lot of investor interest, not a lot of demand in the entry-level, home price market. So prices are increasing dramatically. Investors are now being forced to pay more as prices are being forced upward. And the net result is a big increase in bank-owned median sales price. So certainly exciting as our market is moving in a balanced direction. We still tend, as I mentioned, we still have a high number of foreclosures. But again, as I said at the end of the first quarter, there's light at the end of that tunnel. The level of foreclosures as we move into 2019 is not going to maintain its position of 1 in 5 sales. It's going to decline rapidly as we move into 2019 and 2020 and get down into these ranges of long-term historic rates of below, 5-6% into like the 3 and 4% of all sales range. So good news as we move forward. I'm also going to take just a couple of minutes and dive into the section of the reports for the individual towns. And as we scroll through this page, and this link can be found at the bottom of that main broad market report, but we can look at exactly where we are, each individual town broken down, number of sales that occurred in the second quarter of 17 versus 18, the percent change, and again, the median sales price, second quarter 17 versus second quarter 18, and the percent change. You can look at every town individually. We have them broken down. We have the mainland communities in Atlantic County, and then as I scroll further down, we have the island communities that are popular among our southern New Jersey seashore. We're including Ocean City here as well as all the Atlantic County markets, Ventnor, Margate, Longport, Brigantine, and of course Atlantic City where our new office is. So super excited. Look at the Atlantic City market, up 14% year over year median sales price. So a lot of demand, a lot of institutional interest here in Atlantic City. Lots of excitement. Ventnor up 11% median sales price wise, so nice highlight there as well. When you move into the shore communities, Linwood took a nice jump where our main office is, 6% year over year. Northfield up 20% year over year. So some big gains in the markets in the offshore communities as well. So with that being said, any questions as to how this applies to the value of your home or any decisions that you or your family may make as we move into the second half of 2018? As always, I certainly invite you to simply send a message to myself or any of our awesome team, and we'd be happy to be a part of helping you make what would be the right decision for yourself and your family as we move further into 2018. Any questions, comment below. As I mentioned, the link is in the body of the text, and we look forward to hearing and being a part of helping you make smart decisions as you move through 2018. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you real soon.